Hereditary, the end of it, and I was like, this is a good creepy movie.
Yeah.
It has Hereditary has that massive shock in the middle of it. Massive. Probably one of the most shocking things I've ever seen from the standpoint of what Hereditary. What happens?
They weren't tying that into any sort of religion. It was the King in Yellow, which is mythology invented by other people that doesn't have to do with religion.
And then it gets to its end, and I thought, are you fucking kidding me? Here we go again with the tired conventions of this bullshit.
Oh, it's a demon taking over somebody.
Boring.
Yeah.
All right, so
fucking boring.
We're at the point now that what is it, 60% of the audience does not believe in like a Christian
religion
mythology. We're moving past that point.
So do something more interesting. Yeah.
Right, exactly. We're moving to the point where it's
is there a point when you have 65-70% of your audience that it actually becomes terrifying because those people quit to listen to the stories of it and it becomes spooky, Maybe at some point the retro of it actually works on it, but right now I think it's a waste.
I'm ready to remake Omen, this idea of like this devil-possessed presidential candidate. Like, fuck, I'm scared.
I'm tempted to go rewatch Omen because I say those things and I grew up watching those movies. And the first time I saw Omen to scare me, The Exorcist I never did because my dad is not a big Christian person. He laughed when we watched it together. So it didn't scare me.
But, I mean, this idea of like a presidential candidate that's...
Yes.
So Manchurian Candidate, let's bring that back. This idea that's
They already
scary.
tried that and it was horrible.
Yeah, that with Denzel.
But I mean, stay with the original. But no, I think you marry together Damien and Manchurian Candidate, and you start to do these kind of things. And that's how many times
people like manipulated in their like.
How many times is a pitch of a movie? Okay, I want you to imagine it's part Omen, it's part Manchurian Candidate. Now we tell the story, and that's what they do. I think yes.
Or you do it. It's part Omen, part iRobot. So you mix technology with religion somehow, and so you mix those two together. What makes a human? You built a robot. Can a robot have a soul? Well, if it can have a soul, can it be possessed?
Right.
That's when you start mixing things up and make it a little bit different rather than, oh, hey, we got a guy running for office. He's the son of the devil. Ugh.
We're definitely in like Terminator robot era now where we can actually do a little bit more with that sentient technology.
Right.
That's not being done now. It was done like 10, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And now we can do a lot more with technology taking over a little bit more. But what does it say right now that we just moved past zombies in terms of dominant media?
So
have we moved past it?
What's the next era? Yeah,
okay,
zombies
are they?
Zombies are passe. I'm sorry. In terms of like what captures an audience,
I know you want to say something.
Zombies were 2 years ago, 10 years ago.
Does Walking Dead still sell? No, it's done.
No.
Did they have any? Did they have any offshoots?
Zombies are dead. Nobody cares about zombies.
There's no spinoff.
So it's done.
But everybody still wants destruction. Like everybody still wants dystopian destruction. A lot of it's ecological, like this idea of like.
Well, they also feel that in today's society, they feel that that's almost like an impending doom. I wonder if they're almost trying to vicariously experience that.
I'm waiting for the next what is the next cycle of what we want to see.
What I heard is, and I can't remember who said it, but we go through cycles of zombies and vampires depending on who's in power. So if it's the Republicans are in power, it's zombies because they fear the masses just coming out and doing stuff. But if Democrats are in power, vampires are...
Because they're sucking off of you and leeching.
They're going to suck off everybody and take every...
Wait, they're going to suck off...
everybody.
I want
what? Hey, I want to be that vampire.
Yeah,
goodness
that's
gracious.
Call
during
me.
the ghost scene.
Hi.
So it's like when Democrats are in power, vampires are popular. When Republicans are in power, zombies are popular. It's
Sometimes I feel like those kind of things, when somebody says that, that's almost somebody trying too hard. But no, I actually have heard something like that. Yeah. I'm going to screech gears because we've got about 10 minutes.
Screech.
Because we tease it, we got about 10 minutes on what we usually set up. And that is the fact that my lovely 16-year-old child, and I'm going to reference this, and I'm going to actually insert it in this podcast. There is a song out that has become hot and hip with a lot of the kids that, God, I've never sounded older than what I just said, hot and hip with all of the kids. That is called OKBoomer. And right now I'm going to play it. Hang on. Hang on. And so there it is. And this is, the guys here don't get to hear it. It is a song. It's a really badly produced one. But
they're all bad. I mean, all the trendy songs.
Unless you get, somebody with money behind it, these kids that are putting out the rap and hip hop from their houses, I'm like, please go learn some shit of how to produce. But it's called OKBoomer. And it's essentially turning to the baby boomer generation.
So we're not boomers, though.
No, we are not.
We're not.
But
Our parents were.
in that song, they say, okay, boomer, and it's, but it's meant as a fuck you, don't tell me what to do. And I told Abby, I said, look, I both get it, because I was a teenager. I get where I didn't want people telling me what to do, but I was raised by a woman that was like, you're respectful of everyone. Even when people are disrespectful of you, you treat them with compassion and understanding. I said, I'm a little worried about your generation is so ready just to go, okay, boomer. And then I read an article about it that this person said it may be the first time in American history that there is a recorded moment. Now, you've had the generational moment of fuck off, but it's the first one there is a pop culture moment based around the distancing to a generation that's done something before. Now, the irony is, and I told the guys before this, my daughter is obsessed with the hippie generation, and that's why I had her watch Hair recently, and then I went, they're all baby boomers. And of course, she was crumbled like, oh shit.
All right.
No.
I both love them and hate them.
I'm going to say this right now.
Wait, you're not going to say it later? You're going to say it right now?
I'm going to say it now and
Okay.
later.
You can punch. Do you want to punch him first?
Halloween candies. I'm like 8 of them. So I am not afraid of OKBoomer because they are more worried about the climate. They are more worried about healthcare. They are more worried about the things that move us a little more left in terms of that policy. So if they want to slight somebody that's a little bit older, it's the same way that we say, hey, the older people have to die. We've said this forever. For every generation says, if only the people older us would die, we're going to move the needle forward. They'll fall back a little bit, but I feel like we've all moved everything a little bit forward, and I feel like they're going to take care of the planet and everything else. And if they say, fuck you, boomer, or okay, boomer, I don't care.
Okay.
Let's move it there.
I want to...
But
that's
not lack of respect, because on an individual basis, Abby recognizes who you are.
Oh, absolutely.
She recognizes who
Well,
is.
I'm going to be quite honest.
Yeah.
She recognizes who you are, being a gay man, married man to another man. All these things that in my generation were not accepted. I've raised my child to be inclusive and understand this. Now, I want to say in response to you, I'm not worried about it, because what I told Abby, I said, I think, and I never thought about this before, you look at what created the hippies was the over-conservative nature of that previous generation that which they pushed back, and their hair became a symbol to go against the crew cuts and all these kind of things, and they were pushing. Now, you can also argue the baby boomers stopped at some point, and I think there probably is a truth to the push that will occur eventually. Then they become protective of what they've created. They want to create
cocaine 80s.
Right. And so that happens. But Richard, I even said to her, I said, I have the feeling, I don't agree with you putting the OK Boomer out, because here's my problem. I would not condone you singing a song that's OK N-word, OK F word. I wouldn't condone it. And then you saying, okay, well, it's okay because you wouldn't treat anybody that way. I cannot, as a parent, say, I will not allow you to do that and be cool with this. But at the same time, I understood her. But the last thing I want to say to wrap it, I too said to her, I said, I have this feeling, Abby. I really do, that with what we're facing with climate change, I think you may be the next hippie generation. I think you may be the next ones that go, we're fucking taking this. They protested war. We don't think about the war the same way we did prior to Vietnam. They changed the way we think about it, and we've had to readdress it. I really do. I think you're right. They're going to, if we have any hope, her generation is the one that's going to save the planet. They're going to save so many things. I've said it so many times before that when Trump was elected, that the first thing she was worried about was what's going to happen to gay marriage. That generation thinking like that is the key to everything.
There was a photo on Facebook that somebody shared, and it was a young kid with 2 people chained behind him, and it was another young kid painted in blackface with a tag on his thing that said Barack Obama, and a young woman behind him with a wig on that said Hillary Clinton. And for all of our Abbeys, for all of our people that are willing to move us forward,
there are those that pull us back.
We still have people that pull us back.
But I think that's going to be the human condition.
I want it to go away. I can't deal with that ignorance anymore. Like, you can't deal with it. I'm at a point now where, like, when I came out in 1988, I had few supporters and a few friends, and we did what we could. And now I'm in an era where I can walk around society right now being open and out with my husband and being happy and having people that just care about us, because we're people. We're real people. We're not something you don't. We talk about. We bonded together over Planet of the Apes. We can talk about this right now. And I really want Abby to move it forward for us because she's accepted me, she's accepted Chris, she understands who we are in society, and I want to see that, but I still occasionally see these memes, and
but those are fear, and
I don't know how to move it forward. Like I just don't understand. Like we've come so far, but sometimes we regress. And
I'm not excusing those people. I want to say this. Every time you see that regression, that's fear. And it's whether that be the fear that has been pushed into them that the gays are trying to push an agenda that's going to turn us all gay, whatever. Then you can have shit. You want to talk about ignorance? Did y'all see Michelle Bachmann's comment about climate change? Oh, first off, if there is a dumber cunt on the face of the earth, she came out and I dropped the C-bomb, and for my own wife, I think I'd just probably bleep that because if she ever listens to this, she'll kill me. Michelle Bachmann came out about climate change and said, it's nothing but a lie. I'm not worried about it at all because God promised Noah there'd be no more floods.
Oh, fuck off.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So that just means he'll burn the earth down instead of flood.
You can hop on your phone, and text somebody and post your Twitter feed and Facebook feed from scientists that have made your phone that can allow you to do these kinds of things, but you won't listen to the scientists telling you the globe is fucking warming.
That's all right.
All of your technology, all of your TV, everything
the
you're allowed to do
pulsing
right
through
now
your house
is provided by the same people that have told you that something is happening to the fucking climate and you want to ignore it. Fuck you.
That's okay.
I agree with you. I don't understand the people that want to selectively listen to science. Oh, wait, science saved my mother from cancer, but you're also lying to me that the water's rising.
These are the same people that selectively choose from the Bible, which verses they want to use.
You're absolutely right.
So,
and that's
the Bible gave you your phones. Your Bible gave you your ability to watch the TV.
But
your Bible gave you like all these things, like this idea of like we can just ignore this one thing. It's like it's some weird I'm ignoring shit. I really don't understand this idea of ignoring what scientists tell us. I get that things evolve. I get that we've decided this is happening. Yeah. A decade has happened. We've got new things, so we've got to change the way we do these things. I get that things are evolving science-wise. That our idea of like flat Earth and we're around Earth. I get it.
I reserve the right to change my opinion as I'm given new facts.
Right. But I just don't understand this complete and total denial.
What I don't understand is this push against it. So it's some socialistic left agenda. Hang on. I just want to throw this out. Let's accept the fact that the scientists tell us there's an issue. Let's just accept that. We can all see that happen. For this moment, in my hypothetical, let's accept it. Me as the leader, I can establish a new economy based on that, and I can put every American to work because we need all these things done. We need industry to push. You know what? I'm also sick of the oil industry. Oh, they're hurting us. Fuck you. You know what American innovation is about? Innovate something that leads us into a new thing. How many businesses? Sears went out of business because Amazon came along and did it in a new way and did it better. It affected their business. Why am I betrothed into oil companies that I have to somehow give subsidies to, let them go on to wild land that don't need to be drilled upon
and spill oil there?
That's when you're telling me that your greed and your fucking money are more important than me living upon this earth. No, you're lazy. You are unwilling to look beyond the greed. I'm trying to say I have opportunities that can create more money. Let's find companies that'll go out and do that shit.
So we have Zero and Cornelius in Escape of the Planet of the Apes.
Woo, bring it back to Apes.
We have 2000 in the year of future apes. Here's your opportunity to learn about them, to learn what they do, to find out how to move it forward, how to actually help our society. What did you learn? What did you not learn? Like this idea, we have this opportunity in front of us.
Right.
We have two talking apes. This is a ripe, bountiful harvest.
Right.
What do we do with this? Not how do we shut it down?
We still have Trump saying that they need to rake the forests out there to stop the forest fires in California, and it's California's problem that this is happening, even though it's all happening on federally protected land that he is in charge of.
So I agree with you. That frustrates me, but I want to be fair because I know that we have listeners that probably like that man. I want to be fair to you and say that I think that there are leaders on all sides.
He's populist. He's a populist leader. I mean, the stuff he says is like, that's cool. All right, cool. But when you break down some of the smaller things, you have to say, is he really on my side?
Well, I think that we have to have
No,
all.
he's on Trump's side.
I think
That's
we
the
have to
only
have.
side he's on.
I think we have to have all leaders on both sides of the party that are held accountable to the things they do, and if